Brennan, go ahead.
For either of you, Grace goes down in the first quarter, and then you guys get down 10. What do you think it says about the team? You guys were able to fight through that and come back and take the lead late?
Yeah, you always want to rally around any injured teammate, especially one of your big leaders like Grace. So I think it definitely motivated us.
Joe, go ahead.
Tayla, you scored 30. When Grace went down, what is the moment that you believe you have to show them more scoring responsibility?
Can you explain further?
Sorry.
Can you explain further?
What kind of moments and how did you believe that you're gonna show them more scoring responsibility?
Obviously Grace is a huge piece of our offense. She scores more, sometimes half of our points, if not more than half. So just knowing that I have to be somewhat follow up what we're missing when she goes down, because we need that post presence within our gameplay. And I think just my team believing in me, continuously giving me the ball, finding ways to get me open, that also helped. So, yeah.
As kind of starters and leaders on this team, obviously it really is tough when someone like Grace does go down. Kind of what is the messaging within y'all as a team? Or kind of what are you telling maybe some of the younger players about what they could do in absence of Grace?
It's always next man up. Injury is really unfortunate, but it happens to all teams. Nobody is free or escapes it. So that's why we have the roster that we do. And so we've been preparing in practice in case something as horrible as that does happen. But we're next man up like Tayla today. We're just believe in our team.
Yeah. How do you guys stay focused during this tough stretch of games?
I think just buying into each other and defense is it's a huge thing we need to focus on when games get tough like that, because sometimes our offense doesn't flow, so we have to get stops in order to get our offense flowing. So I think we just lock in and try to get stops on defense as best as we can. And just believing in each other, knowing that the game isn't over, it's a game of runs, so we can have our run too. Just keep fighting.
Tate, you had 4 steals tonight, 3 of them came in the fourth quarter. What were you seeing, especially on the press, that was allowing you to get into the passing lane so easily?
We had to turn them over. We were down, so that freed up a little bit to amp up the pressure and work the press that we've been working on. So just trying to disrupt and cause as much chaos as I can.
Any other questions? Go ahead.
For Tayla, 8 of 9 from the free throw line, career highs for you in that department. What have you seen from yourself in terms of your offensive development this year as being a starter and one of the go-to players for this offense?
Just being more dominant in the paint, calling for the ball, making sure I finish, working on my free throws because I do get to the line a lot, so making sure I can execute on them too. Again, just my teammates believing in me, getting me the ball. Yeah.
Thank you, ladies.
Thanks.
Like I said, before we get to the game, I just want to thank Northwestern and the community, Chicagoland community, because, it's a special day when you bring 3,000 young students to a game to get to experience that. We have one of the great arenas in college basketball, so it's a great day for them, and really appreciate the efforts put in by our athletic department and, again, the schools themselves and the families that make this possible. We had every opportunity, obviously, to win the game. Let Loyola off the hook. We had momentum late in the game in the fourth quarter. Erased a 10-point lead, took a 3-point lead, and you got to hold it. You got to get stops. You got to get rebounds, and we weren't able to do that. We got a great look by a great shooter at the end, so that part, we can live with, but it should, we gave them a pretty easy basket for them to take the lead. And if we'd have got to stop there, make free throws, and, be a little different story. But give Loyola credit. They played their best game of the year and out-hustled us, outworked us. We can't make excuses. So we'll get ready for our last non-conference game at GW, who's playing really well on Sunday, and get ready for the Big Ten.
Coach, it felt like it was a really physical game. How do you think Tayla handled that offensively?
Yeah, I thought there was a lot of contact. She took 17 shots. I feel like she got hit on all 17, some kind of contact. Some created by her, some by double team, some one-on-one. So I thought she did a good job of playing through it. She went to the offensive glass, 5 offensive rebounds. I would guess they were a couple of them were her own misses, and she got putbacks, made free throws, big free throws when we had to. So really proud of her, and big step for her.
On that last possession, Claire ended up taking the final shot. Was that something that was drawn up for her, or was it just something where that just ended up being how it?
Well, we put her in. With 21 seconds, basically because we wanted to have 5 people that could score out there potentially, and she's a great shooter. I thought Caroline made a huge pump fake, got into the lane, put it right on the money. She'll make that shot. So, like I said, she was in there. We'd have liked to obviously going back to Tayla, but it was crowded, and I thought we made the right decisions. Yeah, I thought Caroline made a really good play.
Coach, you talked about Caroline's playmaking, but also had a really good shooting day, had 10 points in the fourth quarter. What did you see from her in terms of just being able to take over the offense from the scoring aspect in that fourth quarter?
Yeah, I think, she's in sync so much with Grace and Casey, and I think she realized, man, I gotta, she'll do what you need, and we needed to score. And I thought she took things in her own hands a little bit more aggressive, transition, hit a couple threes, but also, got to the basket. And when she can score, that gives us an option that, makes us hard to guard all over the court, because she can push the ball as well as anybody in our league.
What are you looking to see out of your squad in the next couple games, trying to break out of this streak?
Well, I don't know that there's any. We played a rough schedule last, going back to Cleveland State, who's probably going to win their league, and we were down 11-12 in that game. Abilene Christian is going to win their league, probably. Those are 2 NCAA tournament teams, but they're not in the big name conferences. So then, Missouri, Kansas, I thought we played well in both games. Ohio State, I thought we we're up 16-10 first quarter. We led in the first quarter going into the second. In all those games, we got off to a good. My point being, we got off to a good start. Same thing at Utah. It was a really good team. So those 4 that we just played in a row are probably, Ohio State, Kansas, Missouri, Utah. They're all going to be fighting for NCAA tournament bids. They're all going to be factors in the Big Ten, in the SEC, in the Big 12. So, we've gotten a taste of pretty strong competition, and we're going to have another dogfight Sunday at GW, who's I think won 5 or 6 in a row, playing really well, and every other game's a Big Ten game. So. If we're smart, if we use this to our advantage, it'll help us. So we can't use it and make excuses, because players got hurt or whatever. That's not who we are. So I think we got to, just go next game at a time. To your question.
Is there any injury updates on Grace?
I have no idea. No, I think we'll find out here in a little bit.
Right.
Coach, you talked about the effort and how you felt like Loyola might have won the hustle battle, but Tate had 4 steals and 3 blocks. With another veteran presence in that locker room with Grace going down, how are you going to lean on her over the next couple of weeks to make sure that she continues setting an aggressive, full effort tone?
Yeah, I mean, here's an interesting thing, and Tate is a captain, and she was named a captain before she ever played 1 minute at Northwestern. So that shows you her character and what her teammates think, and coaches and staff, anybody that's around her. You become a big fan right away, and so I think, she's just got to, I think, settle down a little bit. Again, she played 4 years with a lot of the same players. It's her first time, playing with these guys, and I'm learning. I've learned even last year with Kyla Jones and Taylor Williams, and that 5th year we're seeing it with Deja Turner, who did a great job tonight. Probably obviously the most minutes she's played. It takes a minute, as good as Tate, with a great college career at Furman, you're playing with players you've never seen before, and you're up against the clock a little bit. So I think she's doing it. I think the second half of the season, the Big Ten half, is going to be really, really good for her.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, guys, thanks.
Thank you.